Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of Fresh Picks, where we'll be counting down the freshest games of the week. Puzzle games, shooter games, adventure, arcade, you name them, they're out there. Every day, various aspiring creators release their projects to the viewing public, and sometimes it's hard to find the really notable ones, especially amongst the Click the Clown clones. And that's where I come in. While my schedule's a bit busy, I always have time to sit down and play a couple games, mainly because they're so unique. And amongst them, there are some that really stick out to me and some that I want to stick out to you too, the viewer. And that's what Fresh Picks is all about. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to kick it off with our arcade pick this week. It's called Dodge Get, a fairly straightforward collect the coin, gain points type game. As you collect coins, you gain 5 points and a new enemy spawns. If you're hit by an enemy, you use one of your 3 lives. If you lose all 3 lives, then it's game over. It's small, it's novel, and it can keep your attention for quite a while. It's a decent pick for all you high score snobs out there. Our next pick this week is our adventure game of the week, and it's called Roguelite. It's an adventure type game in which you are going to die. A lot. Actually, dying is an essential part of progressing further in the game. You play a little girl who's under no parental supervision, who takes it upon herself to traverse a dangerous cave full of death-themed monsters armed with literally just bow and arrows. And judging by that description, it's clear we can assume who her parents probably are. Throughout the game, there's limited vision, so you're going to have to use your arrows to grant you vision and navigate further in the cave. Hitting anything helps, even the ground, and especially lanterns. You collect coins throughout your runs and traverse levels by means of exploration. And at the end of a level, with quotes around the word end, you're going to leap down and pray that it leads to the next level, or that it'll lead, hopefully not into some spikes or enemies or a combination of the two below, which you're ready to claim your health bar. But even if that is the case and you die, you're treated to a menu that allows you to buff your character's health, defense, offense, or utility to help you on your next playthrough. While sometimes the vision design will get on your nerves because of the aforementioned cliff scenario, or the lack of direction sometimes leaving you praying that your next jump doesn't game over you, its cute 8-bit style and charm and decent difficulty thanks to the random dungeon generation is enough to make you keep playing through plenty of times. Moving on to our shooter pick this week, it's a space-based shooter called Delta Loop, and again it's replay-based. Fly around a stage with your ship, point and click to dispatch of enemies with your various weapons. There's quite a few weapons to pick up, along with power-ups and combinations for the player to take to the battle rounds, as well as options for your ships for those who like to go through multiple runs. It has decent replay value for a small while. Our puzzle pick of the week is Puxel, and man is this a mind game. In this game, you're tasked with completing the design you're given for that level. Sounds like an easy premise, but I assure you that it isn't. You're given a set amount of blocks that you can rotate and add to the structure in order to finish the structure that you're given for the level. And let me tell you, this game has a very steep difficulty curve. Even in the first levels, I found a bit of difficulty completing the structures as there's plenty more past to the point of possible brain damage. This game is definitely worth the sit-down time. And finally, we have our pick of the week, and it's our platformer pick. And before I say anything positive about this game, I want to say, screw this game. Okay now. Hats is our pick of the week, a ridiculously manic, perfectionist platform dream and nightmare at the same time. In this game you play a person who will call he who shall not be named, and you're to navigate through the almost standard platform scenario. There's a brief tutorial showing you that there's movement buttons, you can jump, and there's spikes on the floor that can insta-kill you. There's enemies that tell you suck, and giant chasms with platformers floating in midair in a nondescript random area courtesy of the interior design school of Bowser. While that's all well and good, the game really picks up further and further into the game as you realize the trial and error twins are soon to become your best friends. Pretty soon there's entire sections that are based on strict timing and discipline that aren't afraid to kill you and send you back to the beginning of the level. And trust me, there's no checkpoints. Hell, there's even one boss level that's entirely dependent on your ability to hit the right movements at the right time. Spoiler alert. However, the most interesting thing about the game is that it stays interesting. After each boss fight, you're given a new hat which introduces a new gameplay mechanic that then introduces 10 more levels that are built around that gameplay mechanic. The challenges ramp up and you never really feel the game get dull. The art style itself is also pleasantly charming and easily readable for the player. The music is just right as well, mixing somewhere between electric, rave, and your guilty pleasure. Sure, the deaths are infuriating sometimes, yes, but you can never honestly say that it's not your fault. I picked this game as the game of the week because of its large amount of replay value, and want you to keep coming back more and more to prove yourself as a perfectionist. While it lacks in other content outside the main game, it makes up for it having consistent challenge, and I highly recommend you go play this game now. And for our mini pick this week, it's Sunset Melody, made for the peaceful game jam on GameJolt. If you have a small bit of time on your hands, check out this small yet relaxing game about completing a sweet song to save the world. Well, that's it for Fresh Picks this week. I hope you really enjoyed the games. They'll all be linked below. Remember, if you liked the video, to give me a like, subscribe, favorite, share it, so we can spread the word. As always, this is Grim, signing out.